Hi and welcome. Today we're going to be looking at brushes. Now, what are brushes all about? Well, brushes really are at the core of Photoshop, and we use them here. We've got the brush tools. We can use them for painting and drawing. We can use them for doing repair work with the spot healing brush and the healing brush. And further down here we've got the clone stamp tool, which again uses brushes. So they are very, very important. Now today we're going to be looking at how to select a brush. We're going to be looking at how to use a brush. We're going to look at how to install new brushes. And then we're going to make a new brush from scratch of our very own. Okay, well, let's dig in. My name is Ken Fisher and this is LiveLink Training. Now in the toolbar we've got the brush tool, and if I go and click on it, or you can press the B on the keyboard as a shortcut. Now this brush, as you can see, if you look on the screen, it's circular. Now a lot of them are, but they don't have to be. We can have odd size brushes and odd shaped brushes. Okay, so I've got a brush selected, and what I can do now, I can just click to make like a circular dot, or I can click and drag to make a line. Okay, now what happens if I want to change something about the brush, like change its size for instance? Well, okay, we do that in the brush panel, and if I go up to the top here, you can see in this corner here we've got a little down arrow, and then we've got this little decal here. Well, what that is, the 200, the number, is the width of the brush in pixels. And the little symbol up here, it's like a little preview of the brush. So this is a little preview of a soft edge brush. And if I click the little down arrow here, it brings up the brush panel. Now we'll start at the top and we'll just go through the anatomy of a little bit of the tools panel. Here we've got the actual brush itself, and you can see it's circular. But you can, by clicking and dragging, you can change the dynamics, you can change the size and shape of the brush. Well, I'll just leave it where it is at, say, circular. Here we've got the size of the brush. So at the moment that's a 200 pixel brush. If I make that bigger, then the brush gets bigger. And here we've got the hardness of the brush. So if I pick a hardness of 0%, for instance, and I click, that's a soft edge brush. That's got no hardness to it at all. So it's got quite a lot of feather around the outside of the brush. Now if I put the hardness up to 100% and I click, you'll see I've got like a scalpel cut brush. And then you can go anywhere in the middle. So if I decide, well, I don't want it hard, but I want somewhere in the middle, 50%, I can click and I'll get a slightly harder brush than this one, but a bit softer than that one. You see what I mean? Okay, let's go back. Now underneath these two sliders we've got some presets, and these are the list of the last several brushes that you actually used. And here we've got all the brushes that are installed. Now we've got some circular brushes, so you can see here I can click on that one and I've got a nice soft brush. I can click on that one and I've got a hard brush. So these are like preset sizes. And again, we can change the size by moving the size slider. But I like to do things with keyboard shortcuts, and ones that I particularly like, because I use the brushes a lot, is the square bracket keys. So if I press the right square bracket key, what I'll do is I'll actually make that brush bigger. And if I press the left square bracket key, I'll make the brush smaller, and it's all done on the fly, so it saves you a lot of mousing around. So we've got some artistic brushes here. So if I click on this one, you can see that's a little bit of an odd one. Oh yeah, I like that one. But you can see this is called a bristle brush. And then down here we've got some well, even odder ones really, but here we've got a good one, this 134. That's actually grass. It looks like grass. You can make a grass or eyelashes out of it. And I can, oh, there we go, so some nice grass going on there. Okay, so you can see that there can be all different shapes and sizes. Now I've actually got one here which is my logo, which I use if I want to stamp my name on something. I can just go and click once and I've stamped my name on whatever image. If I'm going to send this out as a proof, then I can watermark it with this logo. And down at the bottom there, this is an elliptical shaped brush. I'll just use the square brackets just to make that a little bit bigger. And you can see you've got lots of different dynamics on the brushes. We're not going to go into that today. Today I'm just looking at the basics of selecting brushes and using brushes. Okay, now there is an option to load in some extra brushes. These are the ones that we've got, and I've added a couple at the end. But if we go up here to this little cog wheel and click on it, you can see that down here we've got some brushes that are not loaded by default, but you can actually load them in. So let's say, let's have a try. I haven't looked at some of these myself. Some square brushes. I've got some square brushes. And it brings up a dialog that's asking you a question. It says, do you want to replace the current brushes or do you want to append them? Well, I want to keep all these. If I click OK, then what it'll do is it'll delete all these and it'll just put your square brushes in. I want to append them to the end. Now this will add them to the end just here. So if I click append, you'll see now that I've got some square brushes that I can use. So I'll click on that one, say. And as you can see, I've got a square brush. Is that not so cute? Okay. Oh, I'm easily amused. I'm easily amused. So let's just go and have a look at another set. We'll use special effect brushes. And again, do I want to replace them? No, I want to append them. And you can see, oh, we've got a butterfly. Well, let's try the butterfly. Again, square brackets to make it a bit bigger so we can see it. Oh, we've got a nice butterfly. Oh, we've got, I think that looks like a mushroom on this one. Let's just make it a bit bigger so I can see it. And yes, I think it is. Oh no, it's a duck. I thought it was a mushroom. No, it's a duck. It's definitely a duck, that, not a mushroom. Right, okay. Okay, I'm glad we've got that sorted. Yeah, my eyes. I'm getting old. That's what it must be. Right, so we can see we can add more brushes to this. And we can also we can download them from the internet as well, and we can load the brushes in, and these are in the form of what they call .abr files, and I've just got one on the desktop, so I'll just show you that. If I just minimize, you see I've got some Xmas brushes, and I know it's not Christmas, but they're the only ones I could find quickly. So okay, so we're going back to Photoshop, and I'm going to go into my panel again. I'm going to click my little cog wheel, but this time I'm going to do load brushes. I'm going to find my way onto my desktop, and I'm going to find my ABR file, which will be right at the end because it starts with an X. I'm going to click on that and click load, and now you see I've got another, I think 5 or 6 Christmassy brushes. So if I click on that one, oh, I've got some little Christmas trees. Well, let's change the colour to green. We'll make them at least look greeny. And then if I click on there, you can see I've got my little Christmas trees. And I'll try one of the, oops, no, I don't want to shut it down. And I'll try one of the other ones. Let's have a look at that one. See what that's all about. Oh, and it's a Merry Christmas one. Right, now I know I did mention that there was a keyboard shortcut for changing the size of the brush, which was the square bracket key, but there is also one for changing the hardness of the brush, and I'll just go and select a circular one so you can see it a little bit easier. Just scroll up and I'll select a nice hard brush. I'll just put a little bit of a green dot there. Okay, so there we've got quite a hard edge brush. And you can see the little symbol here shows that it is a hard edge. Now I could go in here and move the hardness slider, but what I can do is use a keyboard shortcut. So instead of just the square brackets, if we hold the shift key down and the square brackets, we can make that brush go softer in 25% increments, and shifting the other square bracket, the right square bracket, makes it harder. So shift left square bracket makes it softer, and shift right square bracket makes it harder. So what about making a new brush from scratch? Well, you can do that, and you can make a brush from any combination of text or text and images. So let's just make a new piece of paper that we can look at. We'll make a new A4. That's it. Right, so let's start with, I'll do with a bit of text. We'll make one. So I'm going to go for the text tool, and I'll click and I'll type my name. Okay, not keen on that. Never mind. Let's make it. Oh, we'll make it blue, something like that, and maybe make it a bit smaller. The 100's a little bit big. 48. Oh, that's better. Okay, now here you can see now in the layers panel I've got a type layer with Ken Fisher on. Let's try and add a vector shape. So I'll go to the custom shape tool, have a look in here, see if there's anything that's of use. There is some extra ones that you can add, just like with the brushes. And let's go down and have a look at these. Got some shapes, and we'll append them. I don't want to delete the others, we'll just append them, and I'll have a look down and see what we've got in there. Okay, well, I'll have a quick look at that. We've got one that looks like a little bit of film, so I'll just click and drag to see what that does. Oh, that don't look bad. Okay, we'll go with that. Okay, don't know about the blue shape. I'll press the return key to enter it, and then Control and D. Oh, that don't look bad. I think I'll see if I can change the colour of that to black. Let's double click on it, and then I've got my vector shape in black. No, I think that looks okay. Okay, so what I've got in my layers panel now, I've got my little bit of artwork, and I've got my text layer. I've got it above this white background layer. Well, at the moment, all I want to do is I need to isolate this area because I don't need the whole document. So to make this brush, I'm going to go and get my rectangular marquee tool, and I'll just click and drag just across it like that, just so it selects the area that I want. Now I don't need the background layer on because I'd like transparency. Anywhere where there's white, I'd like it to be transparent. So I'm going to just switch off my background layer, and then I'm going to go over to the edit menu, and I'm going to go down to define brush preset, and then I'll give it a name. Let's say I'll call it logo, and then click OK. Now I'll just go and show you. If I now select the brush tool and then go to the bottom of the brush panel, you'll see here I've now created my own unique brush. Okay, let's see that in action. We can Control and D to get rid of that. I can drop these layers in the bin now because I don't need them. And now on any layer you can see I've got a brush, which is the one I've just made, and it's exactly the same as any other brush. I can make it smaller with the left square bracket, bigger with the right square bracket, so I can click to lay it down on my image. If I want to change the colour, I can click on my foreground colour swatch and change it to say red, and then when I click it lays it down as a red one. So that's about it for this video. We've looked at selecting a brush, we've looked at using a brush, we've looked at installing new brushes, and we've created our very own unique brush that we can stamp on any of our images. Now that brings us to the end of our chat on brushes. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and website so you don't miss future videos. If you get a spare minute, give me a thumbs up or leave me a comment. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.